Well, guys, this week we had the privilege of having Mr. Jon Voigtlander of the Breton Bay Coffee Company come in here, and we got to sample the Founders Roast and the County Blend. Just a really great coffee right here local in St. Mary's County. So we also learned that Mark really isn't a coffee guy. He doesn't like it at all. He favors lavender in his coffee. I think that's what he said, lavender coffee. So and pink drinks and things like that. Okay, with that, guys, check it out. All right, everybody, welcome. Today we have my friend, Mr. Jon Voigtlander, and Jon is here with Breton Bay Coffee Company. So, welcome.
Thank you. It's
So
good
glad
to be
you
here.
can make it.
I am very excited because I love coffee. So
I get that reaction a lot.
coffee. Keeps me going. That's how we stay, keep the wind in our sails in real estate. Lots and lots of coffee.
I almost can't get my day started literally without it. I got it. It's like it's so funny.
I got my hair cut this morning and I went in. I hadn't had my coffee yet. The lady was talking about. I was like,
She's like, Mark's dozing out.
She's like, she put the apron on me. I was like ordering Starbucks on my phone over here. I said, sorry, I had to put my Starbucks order.
That's too funny.
If only they delivered to the hair, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
that would have been cool.
You get DoorDash to the hair salon.
Right.
Coffee.
That's funny.
So Jon, tell us about Breton Bay Coffee Company.
So Breton Bay Coffee Company is a veteran-owned, disabled veteran-owned local coffee company, actually out of my home that you sold us. And we're currently a cottage industry, which means that we can only sell whole bean and we can only sell in the state of Maryland. But we're working to change that. Matter of fact, I just talked to the county today and working to get our permit so we can actually start grinding and start shipping out of state. But it came... I was driving down the road about the time I was getting to retire from the Navy, and one of those commercials came on for like Shopify or one of the web startup people, and the guy was on there talking about how he had started a coffee company. He was roasting beans in his oven, and the beans were horrible. It stunk up the house, and so that was kind of going on. Then a day or two later, I heard something on the radio about buying local, supporting Southern Maryland, and everything. And then I had my retirement party, and as a gift, somebody gave me local coffee from where I went to high school, and I was like, you know what? For all the things that we have in Southern Maryland and in Leonardtown, you can't walk into a store in Leonardtown and buy a local roasted coffee to take home. And I was like, huh. So I did a little research and found out the equipment as far as investing in a business, it's not that bad. So I was like, hey, we'll give it a shot.
Give it
Worst
a whirl.
case,
Try it.
Yeah.
Worst case, it fails. I resell the equipment and off I go. But we've gotten a great response. People seem to really love the coffee. So
That's awesome.
I want to know more about this process, right? Like, so you get the, you get the beans, however you acquire them. I don't know exactly how you get them, and then you roast them, and then you roast them different levels of roast, or is there
light or dark roast depends on how
right.
long it's roasted, right?
yeah. So we get our beans wholesale from a company that actually sources from all over the world. So we've been experimenting with African beans, Central America. We really found we liked a lot of Nicaragua, Costa Rica. But yeah, the coffee roaster, there's a few different ways to do it. We have two different machines.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
One of them's a barrel roaster that basically you could just picture a barrel with the beans spinning around.
Yeah.
And then the other one that we're trying to use now is actually a fluid roaster. So it's basically a big hair dryer.
I saw you post something about that. Listen, this thing's pretty cool, Mark. Listen to this.
So it blasts the air at about 500 degrees up through a hopper full of beans. So your beans start just kind of circulating through.
So they're like popcorn almost, right?
Yeah,
Like
it starts to sound like popcorn.
It looks
so
like
you
popcorn.
when you're cooking it, you have what they call the first crack and the second crack.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I smelled coffee. So we've got two. Let's start.
This smelling notably different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first
yeah.
one you have there is Founders Roast. That is actually a single bean from
Breton
know
Bay.
this, right?
From Breton Bay.
From Breton Bay, yeah.
Grown
Straight
in
from
my
Breton Bay.
backyard.
Straight from my kitchen. I want to say Nicaragua. And we actually tried that one, and we were tasting it to see what we wanted to blend it with, and we're like, you know what?
Let's do this the right way. We're gonna open it up.
Yeah, I was like, why blend
I'm
it?
gonna taste it. I'm not
so
gonna taste
good.
it.
You're going to eat a bean?
No, actually, eat a bean.
Oh, let's do it.
Eat a bean. It's
I'll
fun.
open. You don't have to open them both.
Hey,
Which one are you opening?
Oh, you just Well,
Just
I'll
open
open one. You open one.
All right, so I'll open Founders. How do you open it? Just twist
Just
it?
pull it?
Founders is the Nicaraguan.
I'm pulling.
Oh, on the
I
back.
went to the wrong
It's
side.
on the back.
Okay, not the first.
By the way, I
unit.
like the back. I like the.
Packaging's
the
cool.
packaging's
It's
very
just
cool.
smarter than we are.
I know, which doesn't take much.
Right.
Yeah, so I got to give credit to Melissa Barrett from Melissa Barrett Creative.
Uh-huh.
She did all our work with us. Was very patient as we came up with our logo, which we've got a lot of good feedback on.
You get it? Yeah.
It's sealed. We don't want it to go bad.
Now that's some sealed
Which is
coffee
the
beans.
most important part, because the thing is,
All right, which one you doing this? Are we gonna actually literally eat
I'm
the
gonna
bean?
eat
Oh
it.
yeah, try a bean.
Okay,
it's
I'll
actually
try one.
pretty good.
So this is the
This is the county blend.
blend.
Yep.
So that's pretty light.
So county blend
I know.
is a medium roast.
Okay.
So medium roast means you've gone through first crack. So the first time it starts to sound like popcorn, and then your darker roast you go through second crack. So there's about a 30 to 40 degree temperature increase, and you hit second crack, and it sounds like popcorn again, and you get to your dark roast.
So you
Gotcha.
said that you did say that you had like you did some and you had some people over tested it. I remember you telling me about that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we had, in the coffee industry, you got to make things sound fancy and everything, so they call it a
Which one did
cupping,
you-
but
Yeah,
really
the
it's just a
cupping.
tasting.
That one.
Alright, so we're gonna
Yeah,
try
we
this
had
one.
about a dozen people over, and we
dark.
gave them
Yeah.
6 different coffees to try. Kind of
Okay.
got feedback. One thing we did shoot for is we found out, trying a lot of coffee around here, is there's a lot of Ethiopian fruity coffees that are here.
Yeah.
So we kind of decided to go for more of an earthy, buttery, which tends also to be a little lower acidic. So people seem
Yeah.
to enjoy that too. So
Yeah.
One of my
That's
favorites
the
was
route we went.
I used to like the Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee.
Wow.
So Founders is a dark
Completely
roast.
different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely
So
tastes
dark.
like a dark roast.
Yeah, that's really interesting though.
And one other interesting thing we found out is most people associate darker coffee with higher caffeine. It's actually the other way
Lighter
around.
coffee.
Really, it's opposite.
Lighter coffee is higher caffeine.
Yeah,
I happen to know a lot about coffee, so I'll tell
okay.
you. We really we're trying to figure out how do you make a good cup of coffee at home. Like the coffee at home always paled in comparison to what you got at like a really good coffee shop, and it really boils down to the bean, where it's from,
Yeah.
how it's roasted, and
How it's ground.
how it's ground and how old it is.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that you get at the store has been on the shelf for so long
Right.
that actually it has started to
I know we started the clock ticking when we opened these. I get
Yeah.
that, but
it started to go sour. And that's the bitter taste that you get from a lot of coffee from the store. And you can validate whether or not what I'm saying is true, because I could be completely full of shit right now.
No, I tell you.
But appreciate that.
Nicely, but I tell you.
But
so
you know
we found
that
out today that Mark was full of shit today. Is that what we're saying?
I think we knew that a long time ago. So, but no, like that's the issue, is that it's so old, is that it starts to go rancid, and that sour taste that you get in your coffee at home is from either the bean itself being rancid because it was roasted so long ago and it's been sitting in a bag for so long, and then the other thing is you have to clean your coffee pot really well, because if not, then the oils from the beans get in
From
the
before.
coffee pot and they go rancid in
I
there.
will
So-
say this: the smells of these are it smells like a good coffee shop, right? Like just what we're
Yeah.
getting from these. This
You
is
can
kinda
smell my
cool.
house right now.
I bet. No, this is so. So, what's your vision?
That's a good question.
So the big thing that we started this is, none of us are quitting our day jobs, but we wanted to provide a good local coffee. And then the other big thing is we wanted to give back to the community. So actually, as of Friday, I had a meeting with the Three Oaks Center for Homeless. And I am proud to announce that 10% of all of our profits are going to go towards solving local homelessness
Awesome.
here in the Tri-County area.
That's awesome.
That's really very cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a cool endeavor and a great opportunity to give back to. And I mean, it's funny. That's why we talk about like local businesses. They do so much stuff like that, and it really is impressive.
Take
But
this off the table so everybody's not
You got
looking.
some other swag in there. Got you
coffee
guys some
mug in there.
T-shirts. Some
I'm
people
taking
really
that.
like
Let's
the
show 'em.
mugs, actually.
Oh, look at that coffee mug! Look at
That thing is sweet.
Yeah, that looks like the old tin, but it's glass. But it looks like those the tin ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at that. That's very nice. I'm gonna set it right there.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, that's
he likes
very
the
very
bamboo
cool.
on the bottom too. Kind of a nice
Yeah, I love
accent.
it. So, where can they get where can I order my Breton Bay coffee from?
So right now we are online, www.bretonbaycoffeeco.com. And like I said, though, we're hoping soon we'll be able to sell ground and be able to sell out of state as well. But
So can people buy from you locally though? Can they pick this up somewhere? Are you at like
you
a
can pick
farmer's
up,
market?
you can pick up
or-
my front door right now.
Okay. Cool.
we
What's
are-
your address? No,
Go to the website.
Go to the website first.
Yeah. But we're also working with Heritage Chocolates right now. I
Cool.
think we're going to try and do a pop-up event with them.
Awesome.
And then when we go wholesale, there are a few businesses that actually want to serve it in downtown Leonardtown. So
Nice.
trying to get over that hump with the county. And
Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's opportunities for that all over because I know that a couple places in Calvert sell semi-local coffee, like Eastern Shore. If I don't want to promote other companies,
No, I get it, but that's
but yeah, so they sell that coffee in their shops up there. So I think there's opportunities for those partnerships.
you know what's funny is you ever like there used to be a restaurant that I used to go to here, and it was in Solomon's and they changed hands. I don't remember exactly what happened to the place, but anyway, they I used to go there because I love their coffee. Right, and this makes me think like, there's lots of places you don't go to restaurants for coffee generally. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like an afterthought. But something that if you have something local like this and it's really good, like
Well,
this is worth going like having coffee and dessert somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
I will tell you that the two establishments that I mentioned in Prince Frederick that serve semi-local coffee,
Yeah.
I like that coffee. I know it's local. I know that it's
that's what I'm trying to
roasted
get at, I think,
beans
right?
that aren't super old, and it's really good coffee. So same thing.
Right.
When I'm thinking of where I'm going to eat or I'm going to have breakfast, coffee does become part of the equation.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
thinking,
not
too.
uncommon for me to go grab breakfast from one place and coffee from another
somewhere else.
place.
I totally have done
Almost
that.
every single
I have
day.
done that 100 times. You're
So-
right. And
If somebody could crack the code of having really good breakfast and really,
good coffee at the same
at the
place.
same place,
Yeah, I know.
that had quick service,
Yeah,
that would be the key.
yeah, that's the key for
So-
everybody, I think. But I think I mean I think it's definitely something that we need here. And I said there used to be a couple. There's a few more establishments that are thinking about doing it or starting to do it. But
Yeah.
having something local in Leonardtown like that is really kind of really nice, I think.
Well, and maybe if there's competition, move
The
out of
competition's good.
Leonardtown.
Well, competition is good, and I love Breton
yeah, I
Bay
agree. I
Coffee
think
Company.
competition's good. There's two ways to make your slice of the pie bigger, right? You can take from somebody else, or you make the whole pie bigger. I'd rather make the whole pie bigger, and
Yeah.
let's get some variety going, and let people, maybe you don't want the same
Make
coffee every
Leonardtown the
morning.
coffee destination.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you
you know-
guys are going to make me drive from
Yes.
Lusby to Leonardtown every morning to get my coffee before I start my day.
But it's interesting. You said this like you would, right?
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. Like if the coffee was good and you really liked it and you had a particular place,
Oh.
and my tastes are very different than
Well,
Mark's.
if I'm in St. Mary's County, there are particular establishments
Yeah.
that I'll go to that aren't like the national chains. you
Right.
know?
I get
And
that.
it's interesting. You may want to look at Prince Frederick because I'm going to tell you there's nothing local up there as far as just a coffee shop is concerned.
Yeah.
The closest thing is there's a coffee shop in a church up there that's actually pretty decent.
That is pretty good.
But that's kind of out of the way. It's
Yeah.
not, if you're working in Prince Frederick proper, there's nothing besides
That's true.
your two big national chains. That's all you really have a choice of.
That's true.
And I know for me personally, if there was a local, option, I would definitely hit that versus the other spots. And I think I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I think
and
you're
I'd pay more
absolutely
for
right.
it too.
Yeah, pay more for it too.
I know you're just roasting, but if you think about brewing and becoming a barista,
One step at a time.
we could find you a space up there. And
There's
get you
plenty of
rolling.
spaces around.
Yeah.
And there are people asking all the time, where's your shop? Where's your shop? We're not
Yeah.
quite ready for that yet, but
Yeah, I think-
definitely wholesale's the next step,
Right.
and then see where it goes from there.
Seems like you guys are going from, small scale roasting to big scale roasting, and shipping across the country is kind of the goal versus having a local coffee shop of your own.
So, yeah, we're not really interested in having a shop and trying to run that and staff and get into the food part of it. I think we'd rather just have really good coffee, but we definitely want to move to the wholesale side because I think that's where there's more opportunity to grow.
I get a lot of places
Competitive
that pick it
space
up.
though.
Really, you think?
Yeah, I think when you go in the grocery store, how many different bags of coffee are on the shelves?
Yeah, but I think you're talking about localized, more than
Yeah.
and, you're going to have more people that are like, this is from my hometown, like somebody sending it,
Right.
That kind of thing. I think
that's
you're going to
true.
have more of that than you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going direct consumer, shipping, that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Wholesale
I'd
would
buy
make
some for gift baskets and things like that because first of all, it looks good. Like I
Yeah.
said, the packaging's excellent, and your swag's good too.
I'm excited to go home and brew something.
I know. I want to have some coffee now.
So look, on the next episode,
We're gonna.
we'll let you know how our coffee was. Like, hey, how was your
How was your coffee?
how was your Breton Bay coffee?
You know, we'll bring. You'll have to remember to do that. Right. Well,
We've yet to have anything bad on this show.
Yeah, that is true. Like we always talk about that. Like, always have like good stuff. And I mean, to be honest, we'd probably try to hide it. To be real, but I don't think we would. We haven't had the opportunity to.
We haven't had the opportunity to fakely say that's good.
I mean, when you look at it, I get my face, I'm going to be like, ugh, right? Yeah. People are going to read it a mile away if I don't like it. But Jon, thanks so much for coming in and visiting us, and we wish you the best of luck. And we say you can. We can find you. They can find Breton Bay Coffee online at bretonbaycoffeeco.com.
That's right.
And we're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, thank you very much, and we will see you next week.